Hello, I'm Patterson Majid, and I'm going to explain to you the line of inquiry 1 of PYP project poverty. So let's just stand it around a little bit. There are 6 main levels of poverty. Example, number 1, situational, number 2, generational, number 3, absolute. Number four, relative. Number 5, urban. Number 6, rural. I'll explain to all of them right now here. Number 1, situational. Situational poverty happens by events so as divorce, environmental damage, health problems, a most common one, environmental damage. Loads of people get homeless from tsunamis and hurricanes and earthquakes too. Number 2, generational. Generational is when 2 generations collide. I mean, when the past generation failed at school or anything, it affects the generation later. This type of poverty is rare in some places and common in some. Absolute. Absolute is when people even have the necessary equipment and belongings or shelter. Example, as if someone doesn't have a house, a roof above their heads. It's kind of rare in the United States, but common in other places. For them, their everyday goal is to survive. This type is the worst yet. Next type of poverty, number 4, relative. Relative poverty is related to average or standard people living in the society, as if there are high income or low. Number 5, urban. Urban poverty when there are loud sounds, violence, or poor community health programs, etc. This makes it even difficult for a person suffering in this type of poverty to trying to outflow it. Number 6, rural. Just like urban, it occurs when there is a poor community and just bad paying jobs and you just want to run away from that country. These are the different levels, and this answers the line of inquiry. What we could do to stop poverty is, example, I've been thinking with this around a lot, so this is my action plan. I think maybe we can make a day at school where you pay 10 reals so you could not wear a uniform. With that money, I know my parents donate to a charity, Bunyan. We could send it to there, and then we can help the poverty people with that type of money that we got from school when the no uniform day. So this is my idea. This is what I read to you was line of inquiry 1. My project group poverty, and yep. Stay safe, stay at home, and that's about it.
Today, I'm gonna talk about the line of inquiry number 2. The impact of poverty, not the action plan. The line of inquiry number 2 of the PYP exhibition, not the action plan. Action plans is in the second video. So, the impact of poverty by Hadi. Government and non-governmental organizations try to reduce poverty, providing basic needs to people who are unable to earn sufficient income. Sufficient income can be hampered by the constraints on government's ability to deliver services such as corruption, tax avoidance, debts, and loan conditionalities, and by the brain drain of healthcare and educational professionals Strategies of increasing income to make basic needs more affordable, typical, including welfare, economic freedoms, and providing financial services. This is the impact of poverty. And thank you.
Hello, I'm Patterson Majid, and I'm going to explain to you the line of inquiry 1 of PYP project poverty. So let's just standard it around a little bit. There are 6 main levels of poverty. Example, number 1, situational, number 2, generational, number 3, absolute, number 4, relative, number 5, urban, number 6, rural. I'll explain to all of them right now here. Number 1, situational. Situational poverty happens by events so as divorce, environmental damage, health problems, a most common one, environmental damage. Loads of people get homeless from tsunamis and hurricanes and earthquakes too. Number 2, generational. Generational is when 2 generations collide. I mean, when the past generation failed at school or anything, it affects the generation later. This type of poverty is rare in some places and common in some. Absolute. Absolute is when people even have the necessary equipment and belongings or shelter. Example, as if someone doesn't have a house, a roof above their heads. It's kind of rare in the United States, but common in other places. For them, their everyday goal is to survive. This type is the worst yet. Next type of poverty, number 4, relative. Relative poverty is related to average or standard people living in this society, as if there are high income or low. Number 5, urban. Urban poverty when there are loud sounds, violence, or poor community health programs, etc. This makes it even difficult for a person suffering in this type of poverty to just trying to outflow it. Number 6, rural. Just like urban, it occurs when there is a poor community and just bad paying jobs and you just want to run away from that country. These are the different levels, and this answers the line of inquiry. What we could do to stop poverty is example. I've been thinking with this around a lot, so this is my action plan. I think maybe we can make a day at school where you pay 10 reals so you could not wear a uniform. With that money, I know my parents donate to a charity, Bunyan. We could send it to there, and then we can help the poverty people with that type of money that we got from the school when the no uniform day. So this is my idea. This is what I read to you was the line of inquiry 1. My project group poverty, and yep. Stay safe, stay at home, and that's about it.
My name is Hadi Osman, and today I'm going to talk about action plan of the line of inquiry 2 that I spoke about the last video. The best way, instead of making a site of our own, we can be a volunteer with the United Nations Sustainable Goals to help them reduce poverty by using our mind or help them get materials. The best way is to volunteer with them to reduce poverty. We already are able to reduce it, but with our help it will be better and much faster and end poverty peacefully. And the job we do while in the volunteer, we be the assistants by order. If they order us to do something for example, they tell us to contact a transit company to bring logs, for example, we do it. and we give them ideas through the internet while in the house during quarantine. Thank you. This is my action plan line of inquiry 2. Thank you.
Poverty is an issue that faces many people across the globe. Some of the things that can be done to reduce poverty are create jobs by making cheaper loans and starting new businesses, and then more clients will be there and more jobs will appear. Raise the minimum wage. If you raise the minimum wage, you can afford stuff. You can afford a lot more things. Support pay equity. If a woman get paid like men, they could both get paid really well. And that would be great, especially if they have children. Maybe they can, whatever. Invest in affordable daycare. If you invest in an affordable daycare, it saves you a lot of time because you don't have to find a maid and plus some can be very expensive, and you don't have to find a maid if you don't trust them. Just leave them in daycare if you're really busy at work. Provide paid leave and sick days. Let's say you feel sick that day and you're really tired, so you don't want to go to work. Or maybe you just need a break, Reform the criminal justice system. If you reform the criminal justice system, the criminals can learn to become better people and learn and be trained to get jobs, to find jobs. And that is my way of what I think how we should reduce poverty.
Somewhere we'll soon make a change. We all a part of God's great big family.